I made it. Finally, the day had come. I was on my way to Indonesia and couldn't be more excited. But when it was time to board, things took a turn for the worse. First, the flight was delayed by 30 minutes, then it stretched to 2 hours. An airport staff member explained there was a technical issue, and that's when I started to panic. I was running out of time to catch my next connection. When we finally took off, 3 hours late, I still didn't know if I'd make it. The flight itself was 11 hours, my longest ever, but it passed quickly. I watched a few movies, got a bit of sleep, and before I knew it, we were landing. You can probably see on my face how completely exhausted I was. Before we continue with my trip, I want to take a quick moment to introduce the sponsor of today's video, the Diese Crystal Pods. These wireless earbuds with active noise cancellation not only sound great, but also look super stylish. In the box you will find the crystal pods, a charging cable, and some extra ear tips to ensure the perfect fit for your ears. The Diese crystal pods come with hybrid active noise cancellation, which helps reduce unwanted background noise and allows you to enjoy music or focus on what matters wherever you are. And if you need to stay aware of your surroundings, the transparency mode kicks in, giving you the flexibility to engage with the world around you without removing your earbuds. Another great feature is the Diese app, where you can fine-tune the sound with the EQ settings, adjust the touch controls to fit your preferences, or adjust the noise cancellation system for a more personalized experience. Additionally, you can enable low latency mode for smoother performance while gaming or watching videos, making sure you get the best experience for whatever you are doing. These earbuds are great for a variety of different activities. Whether you're getting into a groove, working, or just chilling, they stay comfortable and deliver impressive sound no matter the situation. Plus, the sleek design means you can wear them for hours without any discomfort, making them your perfect companion for any part of your day. If you're looking for a solid pair of earbuds that not only look amazing but also provide great sound quality at an affordable price, check out the Diese Crystal Pods. Just click the link in the description to grab yours today. Diese, just for good sound. Hi everyone! I made it! I finally arrived to Indonesia. It was a really difficult journey for me because I had 2 flights, one from Serbia to China and the second one from China to Indonesia. And the first flight was around 11 hours and of course they delayed the first flight, and the thing is that I had not so much time before my second flight, so I barely had enough time to make it to another flight, so I just ran to the gate and I made it. They closed the gate right after me, and it was so stressful for me because if I didn't make it, I had to wait for another flight around 7 hours, so it's crazy. The second flight was around 5 hours. I slept a little bit, and when I arrived to Indonesia, I realized that I don't have my luggage. They just didn't have enough time to transit my luggage to another plane. So I got it only now, tonight, and finally I have some fresh clothes. You guys ask me, why you are here? Why Indonesia? It's just traveling or something? And I can say you that it's not just traveling. I have some important reason to be there, and I'm going to share it with you pretty soon on this video, so stay tuned. And now the plan is to explore the city, to walk around, so let's go with me. One of the first things I noticed while exploring Jakarta was the striking contrast between different ways of life. On one street, you can see people living on a sidewalk, and just 5 minutes away, there are luxury malls with high-end brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Even with these differences, the city center is really clean and well kept. It's green, lively, and overall it's a pleasant place to walk around. The second thing I couldn't help but notice in Jakarta is the cats. So many cats. They are everywhere. From what I've seen, it seems like the locals take care of them. Or maybe they just keep the city's mice population under control. On my first day, I decided to visit one of the Jakarta's most famous landmarks, the National Monument, or Monas, in central Jakarta. It's such an iconic spot and seemed like the perfect way to start exploring the city. What really surprised me though was how empty it was. There were almost no people, probably because I came at the start of the rainy season. They were not tourists at all, and I felt like the only person there with a European appearance. A lot of locals looked at me curiously. Some even asked to take pictures with me, not because they knew me, but just because I'm a foreigner. It was quite an experience. I've heard so much about the amazing food here, and as a huge fan of Asian cuisine, especially Japanese food, I couldn't wait to try something unique to the area. The first place I came across was near the monument, where I tried a dish that reminded me of dumplings and ramen. It was absolutely delicious. By the way, this vlog is going to feature a lot of food, so I hope you've got some snacks ready while you watch. Continuing my exploration of Jakarta, I stumbled upon the Jakarta Cathedral, also known as a Cathedral of Saint Mary of the Assumption. The building has a striking dark, neo-Gothic style that I really like. It's been such a full day, and Jakarta at night feels completely different. The city transforms into something so vibrant and alive. People fill the streets, likely enjoying the color evening era. As you can see, it's much busier now. Tomorrow is a really important day for me, so I'm heading to bed early to make sure I'm ready. Plus, the 5-hour time difference has left me feeling pretty jet-lagged. I woke up early the next morning. It was such an important day for me. I didn't even have time for breakfast. Hey everyone! Today is Wednesday and it's a very important day for me. Actually, the most important day I think this month. It's actually the reason why I'm here in Indonesia. So I'm heading to American Embassy for my visa interview. It's pretty nervous and at the same time I'm excited, but it's really stressful. I already got my first approval for this visa. I keep my fingers crossed. I think I can do it, but it's still pretty nervous. I spent so much time for it, efforts and money of course. So I really hope I will get this visa. It's really important for me. So yeah, let's see. Let's do it. Unfortunately, filming inside the embassy is strictly prohibited, so I won't be able to show you any details. Actually, even filming the outside of the building isn't allowed. I found out the hard way when an officer approached me and told me to stop recording. I was so surprised. I'll make sure to update you on the interview results as soon as I find out. While we wait for the results of my interview, let's take some more time to explore the city. Today, I decided to visit one of the Jakarta's most popular areas in the south. It's known for its skyscrapers, and it's considered one of the city's trendiest neighborhoods, if I'm not mistaken. I ended up in a beautiful park, and I have to say, Jakarta is incredibly picturesque with its lush nature. It was so nice to walk around here. The only downside was my constant worry about mosquitoes, especially since it's rainy season, and some mosquitoes in Indonesia can carry diseases. I tried to protect myself with mosquito spray, but unfortunately I still got bitten. I really hope these were just normal mosquitoes because I get a bit paranoid about things like this. Later that day I decided to do some shopping and check out Jakarta's malls. I'd heard they're quite large and beautiful, and I was excited to find something special to bring back home as a souvenir. I found two big malls not far from where I'm staying and headed there to explore. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't expecting to see such high-end brands here. Everything looked so luxurious and beautiful. I even tried on a pair of cool Balenciaga sneakers, but unfortunately they weren't in my size. While exploring, I stumbled upon a small shop filled with all kinds of adorable little trinkets. I couldn't resist, I just had to buy something before leaving. If you saw my previous vlog, you already know how much I love quirky items, so it was impossible to walk away empty-handed. If you are as much of a shopaholic as I am, you'll totally understand. Of course, I had to check out the clothes. The selection in the local malls was amazing. I ended up picking a few t-shirts and my favorite find of the day, this pair of glasses. What do you think? Do they suit me? I also came across a few traditional shops selling beautiful traditional costumes and various crafted figurines. It was all so impressive and truly showcased the rich culture here. However, these items were noticeably much more expensive compared to other things I'd seen so far. I picked up a few fun things and now it's time for dinner. This time I decided to try something unusual. A place where food moves along a conveyor belt in the middle of the table. You just grab what you want and pay afterward. I think this concept might be from Japan, but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It was an interesting experience. I tried a variety of dishes. Not all were my favorites, but they were decent. Overall, it was pretty fun and unique. I didn't feel completely full, so I decided to finish off with dessert and a cup of coffee. Speaking of coffee, my next morning started with it. I had breakfast at a fun spot that I highly recommend visiting if you are ever in Jakarta. It's called Sam Dim Sum. I started with taro bao buns, made of soft milk dough filled with taro paste. The paste contained sugar and coconut milk, giving it a sweet and unique flavor, though I regretted eating them first since they felt more like dessert. Next, I had a dish with eggs and shrimps in a sweet and sour sauce, which was absolutely delicious. Just look at these massive shrimps. They were legit next level. I wrapped it all up with their avocado coffee. It's a very interesting combination. I thought so when I saw it on the menu. However, the taste turned out to be quite unusual, as you can probably tell from my face. After breakfast, I explored the part of the city I haven't seen before. On the way, I came across some kind of event. I couldn't quite figure out what it was, but there were a lot of students, probably because of nearby university. It was so hot and humid that I had to grab a cold drink to keep going. There seemed to be a lecture going on and a small fair nearby. Later that day, I decided to explore Chinatown. Walking through the local market was a bit scary at times, but it was all worth it when I ended up at a beautiful Chinese temple. Luckily, a very kind woman there showed me around and shared so much about this amazing place. To wrap up the day, I headed to a rooftop bar at a hotel nearby. It's one of the highest spots in Jakarta, and the view was absolutely stunning. Even at night, it was still hot up there, but a refreshing mojito made it the perfect way to end the evening with those breathtaking views. Hey everyone, once again, I'm in the hotel and 2 days have passed since my interview. I can say that it went pretty smoothly and pretty fast actually. And today I've got my passport back. And guess what? Here's the visa inside. I'm so happy. Finally, I got it. So much time passed. I was working on this visa, I don't know, probably 6-7 months. So pretty long process. And I'm so happy I finally got it. So the plan is to move to USA next year in the very beginning. I'm not sure about the state yet. I have three options: Florida, California, and Tennessee. For sure, everyone told me you should go to California, to Los Angeles, and probably, yeah, I will. I think this is the best place for musicians, for influencers. It sounds like a plan. And talking about interview, the process was pretty fast. I just scanned my fingers and the officer asked me like, what is your talent? That's it. I'll stay here in Indonesia 3 days more, and tomorrow I'm going to visit Safari Park. It's gonna be so fun, I think. I've never been in such a place before. So let's go with me. Before heading to the safari park, I decided to check out a smaller park nearby. It wasn't as big, but there was still plenty to see. The first thing I noticed were the roosters and chickens. They were everywhere, casually wandering around like they owned the place. The park also had some larger animals like a tapir and a camel. Luckily, I found some grass nearby and had the chance to feed them. I'm pretty sure they enjoyed it. But without a doubt, the highlight of the park was the birds. There were such a wild variety, from colorful parrots to exotic tropical species. The best part was that many of them could fly freely around the park, which made the whole experience feel so natural and open. I even got the chance to interact with some of the birds, and it was such a unique experience for me. For the first time in my life, I held these massive parrots, and let me tell you, they were way heavier than I expected. But the highlight was definitely the bird show. The birds did all sorts of tricks, and it was so fun watching them show off their skills and interact with their trainers. What really surprised me though was the music. They even played a metal track at one point. It was totally unexpected.
Cengkraman mereka cukup kuat sekali, bisa menyeret anak domba sendirian. Dan fakta menariknya lagi, mereka berhabitat.
The next day, I finally made my way to the safari park. Since the safari section is only accessible by car, I hired a driver and guide to show me around. On our way, we stocked up on plenty of fruits and vegetables. I couldn't wait to feed the animals. That was the part I was most excited about. The first animals I came across were elephants and camels. There were so many elephants, it seemed like a few families were gathered there. And yes, I managed to toss them some bananas and carrots. It wasn't as easy as I thought, since they weren't very close, but I made it. The camels, on the other hand, were closer and looked very curious about the food. This park is divided into several sections. In some areas, you can interact with the animals, but in others, when you are driving through, your windows must stay closed and you can't open the car doors because dangerous wild animals roam freely in those zones. So it's better not to take any risks and simply enjoy the stunning views. And then we reached one of the most exciting parts of the park. Here animals roam freely, even walking between cars. And everyone can interact with them, feed them, and sometimes even pet them if they're willing. It feels like the animals have adapted to humans. Although they live in the wild, they are very friendly and absolutely love being fed. I honestly lost count of how many animals I fed, but I'd say it was dozens. It was my first time ever feeding so many wild animals at once, and it's an unforgettable experience. Some of the animals tried to climb into the car to steal all the treats I bought. I did my best to save as many snacks as possible for the other animals waiting along the way. It was so chaotic, but also so much fun. There's another section with predators, and even though they were chilling when I got there, it had an eerie vibe. It felt surreal being so close to these animals with no barriers. I think the life of these animals in this park is very calm and measured. They're just chilling all day long, and it looks like the conditions are really good for them. They seem really happy, as you can see here in my video. Next is the giraffe section. But since it was raining when I got there, most of them were hiding under the shelters. I was pretty lucky because one of the giraffes came up closer to me. It's the first time I've seen a giraffe try to eat something from the ground. It looks really funny. I also bought a big watermelon for the hippo, which I really wanted to throw to him. I was so lucky that he came so close. And just look at how happy he is with the watermelon and wanting more. That was definitely one of the funniest moments of my entire time in the park. I thought it was the last snack I had in the car, but luckily I found something else and was able to give him a little extra treat. The last part of the safari section was the monkeys. I've always loved monkeys, and it's such a special experience watching them. There is something about their behavior that feels so human, and it's amazing to see how they interact with everything around them. Just look at this lady casually lounging in these banana peels. It really struck me how similar we are, and her relaxed attitude totally melted my heart. Honestly, she kind of reminded me of myself at times. We drove for about an hour and arrived at the next section of the park, where you can only walk on foot. This area of the park is called Baby Park, though I couldn't quite figure out the reason behind the name. A significant portion of it is dedicated to birds, and it's truly a heaven for birds lovers. As you wander through this section, you'll come across an incredible variety of bird species flying freely around you, which creates a very lively and dynamic atmosphere. Some of these birds were entirely new to me, and I found it fascinating to observe their unique colors, patterns, and behaviors up close. It's definitely one of those places where you can spend hours just admiring the beauty and diversity of nature. The next part of the park was dedicated to monkeys, and I have to say they are some of the most entertaining animals I've ever come across. Their behavior is always so amusing to me, and they never fail to bring a smile to my face. A fairly large section of the park is reserved just for them, which is fantastic because it gives them plenty of space to play, swing, and move freely through the trees and vines. It's so much fun watching them leap and interact with one another in such a natural and playful environment. Next, I found myself in a small area with lemurs and kangaroos, where you can actually interact with the animals and feed them by hand. It was such a different experience from tossing food from a car. Here you could really connect with them. I used to think kangaroos were aggressive, but these calm, playful ones totally changed my mind. It was a lot of fun. The last section of the park is reached by a special bus. This area is dedicated to Chinese pandas. It's probably one of the most picturesque spots in the park and definitely one of the most beautiful spaces I've ever seen. Just look at these incredible views. Of course, the video doesn't capture the full scale, but seeing these jungles in person is truly breathtaking. Going through these beautiful Chinese pagodas, we finally reached the star attraction, the giant panda. He looked so adorable, just lounging and sleeping, such a chill guy. It's pretty typical for pandas, and his red panda brother was the same in that regard. Aside from the absolute beauty of the nature here, another animals caught my attention. I don't remember its exact name, but it resembled a bison and was surprisingly adorable. What charmed me the most was watching it eat from this large round feeding station. It was such an endearing sight. I spent the whole day here and was on my feet since 6 a.m. So by the end, we headed back completely exhausted. The next morning, it was still raining and I didn't have any plans. For breakfast, I decided to visit a Japanese spot. Spoiler alert, I loved it. It's one of the tastiest places I've ever been to. I'm a big fan of Japanese cuisine. I feel like I could eat sushi, rolls, and all kinds of Japanese soups every day. Finally, I topped it all off with this amazing dessert. I think I'll come back here again, maybe for dinner. While I was having breakfast, the weather cleaned up and the sun came out. I decided to take a walk and also show you one of the local supermarkets where you can find an incredible variety of tropical fruits. Honestly, some of them I'd never seen before, though I had heard about them. During this trip, I tried many new things. I can say that some were absolutely delicious, while others felt unusual for me. For example, this intriguing fruit is durian. I've heard that in Thailand, some hotels forbid bringing it into rooms because of its very strong and unpleasant smell. I didn't try it on this trip, but maybe I'll give it a shot next time. But what amazed me the most was how beautiful everything looked in the supermarket. Everything was so clean, organized, and vibrant with colors, and the fruits looked incredibly appetizing. There is one more thing I really enjoyed. Almost every morning, I would buy these local buns. They are super soft and come with different fillings. My absolute favorite was one with cottage cheese. I'm not sure why, but filming is prohibited in many supermarkets. Several times, security approached me and told me that recording wasn't allowed. It felt strange to me, but I still tried to capture a few shots to show you. On my way home, I stumbled upon a small exhibit in another mall, featuring some cool paintings that you could also buy as posters. During my last few days in Jakarta, I decided to take it easy and explore more shops and malls, especially since the weather kept changing with frequent rain. Overall, I spent my time unwinding and relaxing. For dinner, I decided to try the Wagyu beef, but I didn't expect that I'd have to cook it. The waiter brought the pot with coals, so I could grill it however I wanted. Of course, I couldn't skip the sushi. To top it off, I had an amazing matcha cheesecake for dessert. So my trip has come to an end. Today I'm flying back. I have a few things to take care of in Serbia, and early next year I'll be heading to the States. This trip was incredibly inspiring and at the same time quite stressful. Finally getting my visa was such a relief, and I'm so happy that one of the toughest parts is behind me. Also, I really enjoyed Jakarta. I spent a lot of time in nature and with animals, which you know I really love. Next year will definitely be a new chapter for me, and I'm so excited for what's to come, so stay tuned. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to press like and write a comment, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye bye.